praise for a shy hero who saved 2 young boys from perishing in a devastating bushfire.
What do you do for a man that saved your family?
I wish we could save his life one day.
Dreams and livelihoods left in ruins near Ballarat, but the victims vow to rebuild.
This is 7 News with Jennifer Keyte.
Good evening and welcome to Carnham for a special 1-hour edition of 7 News. It's a tight-knit rural community not far from Ballarat, where residents are still stunned after a ferocious grass fire consumed at least 9 homes and left livelihoods in ruins. Today's been all about taking stock of the damage and counting blessings, with numerous tales of lucky escapes and sheer bravery. Brendan Roberts begins our coverage.
There was precious little left to salvage for dozens of Carnham residents
And later in the bulletin, we have a special report on how experts want to tackle the threat from arson. Now to Giaan Rooney in the studio. And Giaan, Australia's bushfires are making quite an impression even in outer space.
That's right, Jen. The bushfires raging across the country are now so massive, a Canadian astronaut on board the International Space Station has captured these spectacular images showing enormous plumes of smoke. Weather-wise, Melbourne's looking at a mostly sunny day tomorrow and a top of 26 degrees, but it's going to warm up on Friday. I'll have the details later on, Jen.
Thanks very much, Giaan. We'll continue our coverage of the bushfires in this special 1-hour edition of 7 News after the break, as Victorian police arrive to help the grim search in Tasmania. And a frightening dash to safety as a blaze flares in the night. Welcome back to this special 1-hour edition of 7 News. Tonight there are still 130 fires burning across New South Wales. Dozens remain out of control. Among the most worrying for firefighters are blazes near Yass and Wagga. Sean Berry was in the nearby area of Giaan with fire crews last night.
Through the gates of hell into the roaring heart of an out-of-control bushfire. Sean Berry, 7 News.
A big worry for firefighters today has been a blaze that broke out near Lithgow this morning. It's feared that fire was deliberately lit. Live now to Hugh Whitfield. Hugh, are crews on top of it yet?
Well, Jen, just in the last few hours, more than 55 fighters and 3 water bombers have been able to bring this blaze under control. It all started
in Tasmania,
at about
7 News.
And let's now cross to Rebecca Maddern in Melbourne for more of today's news.
Thank you very much, Jen. When we return, a demand for screening programs to weed out CFA arsonists. Also, men painted as Smurfs arrested over a 7-Eleven attack. And a bridal party's wedding day shop. Police have arrested a man over a series of sexual assaults in Melbourne's northwest. It comes just a day after one of his alleged victims went public to help catch the motorbike riding sex pest who attacked her in an Epping park. She was one of 11 women who came forward after being assaulted on bike paths over the past few weeks. A 31-year-old Lalor man was taken into custody today. A motorbike has also been seized. A CFA firefighter who died while on duty last week has been farewelled with a guard of honour at Gisborne, northwest of Melbourne. Acting Premier Peter Ryan was among the mourners, paying tribute to Second Lieutenant. Twice a day, the hands-on wading experience comes at an extra cost. Later in the bulletin, Nathan Templeton will have all of today's sport, including how Bernard Tomic impressed James Magnussen in Sydney, and Leighton Hewitt turns back the clock. But right now, we return to Jennifer Keyte live at Ballarat.
Thank you very much, Beck. Well, news that many fires in the past week were deliberately lit by firebugs has caused outrage. Half of all bushfires are started by arsonists. Some are even started by those entrusted to protect us. Leading psychologists are now calling for a national screening program to identify would-be arsonists. Claire Brady explains.
Arsonists. Their mindset is so extreme, firefighters are horrified. Claire Brady, 7 News.
And after the break, an update on how firefighters are faring tackling a blaze in Victoria's southwest. Well, Welcome back to Carnham, where CFA crews have been busy again today putting out spot fires. They've been working around the clock, and I caught up with them, Shane Bruty in particular, a little earlier. I started by asking him where he was when the fire began.
I was just coming into the paddock and saw the big flare up, and I saw my brother running to grab their fire unit, and
Residents
he
in the area
grabbed it.
will receive a briefing on the status of the fire at community meetings to be held both today and tomorrow morning.
OK, thank you, Brendan. Now back to the studio where Nathan Templeton has all today's sport.
Thank you very much, Jen. After the break, a vintage win from Leighton Hewitt at the Amy Classic. Also, Demons players forgiven over their Boxing Day dramas. And the man the Aussies fear in the one-day series opener. Hello again. The Melbourne footballers involved in a boozy dust-up at the MCG on Boxing Day have escaped penalty. The club says the public embarrassment following the incident is punishment enough. Tom Brown has the story.
There's clearly no ill feelings at Melbourne after their Boxing Day booze-up. The Demons insist Frawley...
And that's all in sport. Back to you, Jen.
Thanks, Nathan. The lotto results now, and the winning numbers are 13, 40, 35, 30, 39, 1, 15, and the supplementary numbers 33 and 25. Giaan Rooney's along next with the weather, and it's looking like a hot one on Friday.
You can join 7 News online. Go to our website at 7news.com.au/Melbourne or join the conversation on Twitter and become part of the 7 News Melbourne Facebook family.
Good evening again. A mostly cloudy day in Melbourne today with a few morning showers. We hit a top of 21 degrees today, just before mostly 2 sunny p.m. Monday and Tuesday. Now it's back to you, Jen.
Thanks, Giaan. So just to recap on a very long 24 hours for the locals here in Carnham, and it's emerged that at least 9 homes were destroyed when the flames ripped through last night. While the victims are facing a long process of recovery, many more are counting their blessings after a blaze that left a damage bill of more than $7 million. Now attention will turn to Friday, with fears that smouldering fires around here and right across Victoria could once again flare and deliver more misery. And that's 7 News from Carnham near Ballarat. For now, from the team, have a lovely evening and good night.